Riders, welcome back to Sam's Bikes, where you know we only talk e-bikes. And today is the 6-month review of the Cane Creek's electric wings. So the Super Bling electric wings are 100% titanium made with advanced manufacturing, weighing in at just 383 grams, and they're available in 165 or 160, which I've been testing. And the electric wings are available in a Bosch, Bros, TQ, Fazua, Panasonic, and Yamaha fit, costing $899 US direct from Cane Creek, or in Europe, you can buy them from a dealer from around 1,100 to 1,200 euros. So as I said, riders, I've been riding these beasts for the last 6 months. And first off, why do I want them? Because they look so amazing. Best looking cranks on the market, definitely for me. And you would know if you're a fan of the channel, I'm an old school BMXer, and these cranks really remind me of the old school profile or redline flight cranks. I love the look of them. And the installation was quite simple, but I did need to get a 14mm Allen key because I didn't have one. It's quite a large Allen key, so if you are buying these cranks, make sure you have a 14. And also, they have this like titanium paste, which is kind of browny, sort of browny black. And be careful with that because I put a little bit too much on. And it was quite difficult to get off the edge of the motor housing. But all in all, a very easy install. And before we crack on with the review, a massive shout out to Schwalbe, the long-term sponsor at Sam's Bikes. Without Schwalbe, Sam's Bikes does not exist, full stop. So massive shout out to them. And Schwalbe have 2 new tires, which I have been testing. They have the Albert and the Shredder, and they're both using the new radial construction. Now, the Albert, the Cliff Note, an amazing tire. It's an all-round tire, and I've been running it on my Levo SL, review coming very soon. But I think it's hard to quantify, but my normal setup is a Magic Mary front and back. I think I'm getting around 10 or 15% more grip. It kind of feels a little bit like cheating. I highly recommend them. And the radical looking shredders, which I have right now on the Ampflo PL Carbon with the DJI Avanox motor, which has so much power. And the shredder on the back with the DJI motor is such a great combination. I've been riding the steepest climbs. That back tire is like a tractor. I don't lose traction. And also when it's steep, like it really holds onto those steep lines well. And the front shredder, I'm gonna say it is definitely designed for loam or mud or like some really like dry, loose conditions. Not a massive fan of the shredder on the front, but on the back, this thing is the best climber I've ever ridden. Okay, Legend Riders, now onto the 6-month review of the electric wings on my Levo. They are fantastic cranks. I'm gonna put it out there straight away. They are probably the best cranks on the market, and yes, probably the most expensive. But why are they the best cranks? Well, for me, the best thing about these cranks is the pedal overhang. And I hear you riders say, what is pedal overhang? Well, check this out. Let's put them back to back against the original Praxis cranks. We're talking about 7 to 10 millimeters of extra clearance with the same 160 cranks. So you're basically getting almost 1 centimeter of more clearance on the same size cranks. So that means less pedal strike. So that means these are the best cranks I've ever tested because of that overhang. They're also incredibly beautiful and very stiff. So how do they compare to other cranks on the market? Well, first off, I don't really like riding carbon cranks. I don't want a carbon crank to fail, and I have seen them fail. I've never failed them myself, but they do fail. I'd much prefer titanium or alloy. So how do they compare to an alloy? Well, I'm gonna say definitely the overhang here, the pedal overhang is way better than any alloy crank. I've had some Hope cranks, which I found really flexy. I didn't like the Hope cranks. And I also have Forks cranks. I really like the Forks cranks. I would say the stiffness is on par, but the Cane Creeks have less overhang. So overall, I think they are better than the competitors. Not all gravy, the things I'd like to see changed or improved on the electric wings. Well, first up, the price. So the $899 US, which I'm gonna say is on the top end of cranks. You know, like A lot of them are like the Hopes or the Forks are sitting between 200 and 300, and these being almost 3 times the price. Definitely, they are the best cranks on the market that I've tried, but they're also 3 times the price. Also, I'd like to see them available in a 155. These are 160s, and I normally run all my cranks at 155, and I don't feel any disadvantage. And I also think 155 allows you to keep that cadence higher on e-bikes, which is better. So I'd like to see these at 155. Also, I'd like to see some type of stickers or some type of 3D printed mount to come on the pedal overhang, which is a little bit counterintuitive, but I do have a few marks on there. And if you spend $900 US, you kind of want to protect that area, even if you have a little bit more overhang. And if Cane Creek came to me and asked me how I would make these better, well, I think these are the best cranks on the market, definitely. But the problem is they're a little bit too expensive. I would love to see a chrome version, very much like the Profiles or the Redlines back in the 90s. Now, I'd like to also see them, as I said, at 155. Now, those cranks are going to come in around 200 to 300 grams heavier. So probably 600 grams for a set of cranks, but they'll probably be able to get the pricing in at around 200 to 300 euros, which will make them competitive to the other brands. And I reckon if they did that, they would sell heaps of these cranks. And who are the electric wings for? Well, clearly, they're an expensive bit of kit. So they're for someone with a beautiful e-bike wanting to bling it out, but also get a bit of performance. These are super stiff, that pedal overhang, they are awesome cranks. But as I said, they're definitely not cheap cranks. Someone that's, might have trick stuff brakes or iron wheels, someone that's looking for the best of the best and is willing to pay for it. And now down to the $1 million question, would I buy the electric wings today with my hard-earned cash? I'm gonna say, yes, I would, because they are fantastic cranks. I'm also gonna say, if they made them in the chromoly, I would probably have them on every one of my e-bikes, and I think they'd probably sell a lot more. If you haven't subscribed to Sam's Bikes, please do. And like always, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to help, and you stay safe out there.